Hello there, and welcome to your general weekly reading for the week beginning October 22nd, 2018. This week I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot cards by Deborah Blake, and also intuiting any additional messages that comes in from the guides and from the universe so that we have the absolute best understanding on what to expect in the upcoming week. So, how are you doing? How was your week last week? We had a lot of intensity flying around in the air. And it could have felt, we talked about rawness, so you could have been feeling extra raw, extra sensitive. It's kind of like people could just poke you a little bit harder this week, that those wounds were just so high up on the surface and just so raw and sore. And so any type of action whatsoever, any type of slight poking or just questioning about those sorts of wounds where it was just too much. So it was a really intense week. You could have been feeling really extra sensitive. You could have been a bit more on edge. Perhaps you were more irritable than normal. I want you to know that is totally normal. It was just a lot of really intense energy that was coming in last week, and that is because it is somewhat of an energetic new year coming up. October 31st is the Celtic New Year, which means that anytime we have anything wrapping up like a year or a birth year, those kinds of things, we have this rapid growth of energy that starts to collect and starts to push us, and what it's basically doing is it's adding pressure on us so that we can learn the absolute most that we can before we hit this new year. And so the last couple of weeks, if you found it super intense, that could definitely be a huge reason why. If you've been feeling totally normal and you've no idea what I'm talking about, that is awesome. That's great. That just means that it's not affecting you on a conscious level. If it is affecting you and you are just tired and you're cranky and people are just pushing your buttons, really take time to retreat into the self and to heal yourself, heal what's going on, and look at those aspects of you that are being challenged and feeling. When in those areas that you are feeling a little bit extra sensitive, it's usually not in multiple areas. Sometimes it's just focused in one spot. So look at those spots that are causing you a little bit of extra stress and look at what it is that needs to go so that you can step into this Celtic New Year on the 31st. So also with that, when we're in fall, it is a time of collection and we are preparing for hibernation that comes in the wintertime. So it is quite normal to start collecting all of the work that you want to do over the winter too. So if you're feeling like you feel like all these brand new things are starting to happen to you and are starting to affect you that you didn't really think about before, or you're collecting a little bit of new baggage, just let it go. You don't have to bring it with you into the winter time. You can just let it go, and what will really help you clear out all of this heaviness, all of this raw energy, will really be taking time for yourself, healing yourself. I did a sweat lodge on Tuesday this past week, which really helped me shift. I was feeling really, really horrible for multiple weeks. And then we did this sweat and we sweat out so many toxins and so much of this heaviness that I had been carrying with me, and it was just a really nice release. So if you like going to a sauna or a steam room, that might be something you would like to partake in. Go find your healers if you want. You can come to me or find someone else who can do energy work on you to help you kind of clear out all of the stuff that you don't really need to take. Having those external tools, whatever it is for you, exercise or saunas or healers or meditation, it just helps to kind of drag that stuff out of you faster so that it's not sitting in you trying to release on its own, because that always takes a little bit longer. So this energy actually, once you clear out all of the garbage, feels really nice because we are stepping into this new sort of energy, and it feels actually much better on the other side. You can actually get stuff done. The motivation is there to move forward and to collect whatever you need to collect for winter. So I highly recommend that you do some things this week that will help you kind of exert all of that extra energy. And you can imagine it kind of like stress. Whatever you do that makes you feel less stressed and that helps you get rid of the stress, those are the types of things that you want to partake in. That doesn't mean going out and getting drunk with your friends. That will only build up all of the extra stuff. But maybe going out and having fun with friends and just laughing your ass off is all you need to help that energy kind of sink back into the earth so that you can welcome in the new energy without all of the extra old energy there. I also wanted to talk to you briefly about a Facebook Live reading that I am doing next Sunday, the 30th? I should check that. I'll check that while we talk. So it is, sorry, I lied to you. It's the 28th. So on the 28th of October, I'm doing a Facebook Live. I'm going to start out doing a weekly reading, and then I will be taking questions. So you can get a free tarot card reading if you show up to the Facebook Live. I will send out a reminder email right before we begin. So come on over to katiehunt.ca to subscribe to make sure that you do not miss it. It should be a lot of fun. And who doesn't love a free tarot card reading? I'd be all over it. So hope to see you there. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can just find me at The Journey to Spirit on Facebook, and also on Instagram, The Journey to Spirit, same thing. So come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun, and you can get some of your direct answers that pertain to you answered. So it's hard with these weekly readings to always make them relate to you because we are talking about a mass majority of people. But when you get the one-on-one, you get a lot more clear, guided answers. So now we will begin the reading. And take time to really enjoy the fall. The more that we enjoy the seasons, the more our life feels full. So it's about that connection to the earth in all stages of its life, all stages of the story, and see how your life kind of relates in each season, and what goes on in each season, and how you're feeling, and how you can make the most of each time. So perhaps in the wintertime you're really sleepy and lazy. Well, maybe that's a great time for you to catch up on some reading and some sleeping and some movie marathons. I know I always like to do Harry Potter marathons in the wintertime. So find things that make you happy that you only do in the months that you're forced to kind of be inside a little bit. And that will make them much more enjoyable. Sorry, the card. Okay. Being very funny today. Okay. So we have the Four of Cups for our week. So the Four of Cups is talking about foundations. I think we've had this card recently as well. So the Four of Cups, basically, this could be you looking at other people feeling like this, or this can be you and just being in your own emotional world and not seeing the other people that need you around you. So the Four of Cups talks about our foundational emotional well-being. This week will be a lot to do with our emotions. We have been feeling emotionally raw the last couple weeks, and that is everything that I discussed earlier in this reading. But just really take time to connect with that emotional body, that emotional experience. And that is your human life, and use those emotions to guide you, and also let them go. So don't allow yourself to get so absorbed in how you're feeling that you're negating everyone else around you, or that you're forgetting all of the beautiful things that are around you. So emotions are good if you look at them as teachers. We get into trouble when we allow them to consume our lives, and then they start to overtake, and we start to then outwardly project how we feel, and it's not always a great thing. So be cautious when you are looking at your emotions to allow them to guide you, but don't allow your ego to come in and kind of hang on to those emotions and then drag you down deeper into them. Emotions are just energy, so you can transmute them, you can let them go, you can use them to, you can transform the energy into something else, alchemy. We can really practice that this week because it will be an emotionally trying week this week. Yeah, the image they just keep showing me is parents who are just unhappy with their lives and they don't understand the impact that that's making on their kids. That's the image that they're showing me. So that can be in any way. So if you have pets, if you are around family members or your friends and you are not understanding the impact that your negativity or your grasp, your hard grasp on your emotions is affecting others. You're not the only one who is experiencing those emotions. If you are carrying them with you and you're not letting them go and you're allowing them, I guess, to take over your body and over your life experience, it's just going to feed out to everyone else because your actions will be influenced heavily by these emotions. So we want to be responsible when we're feeling upset. And take ownership on why it is that we're feeling that way and not project our pain onto other people. Because when people make you feel a certain way, it's because there's a wound there. So if someone said something to you that was super rude, that is their problem on some level, but if it hurt you, that is something that you need to look at. And then don't worry about that person. Don't worry about getting your revenge. And if it doesn't feel like you need to tell them how they are, if they are just somebody that will not get it, it's more important for you to deal with the pain on the inside rather than confronting that person and trying to force them to change. You can only change what's in yourself. And so you want to heal those wounds as they come up. And that's why our emotions are our teacher. Is it because it shows us where our pain is and where the holes are within us and where we can really grow from. So really take this opportunity when it comes up, because if you don't, it'll just kind of compact onto each other and then it gets really, really hard to look at those emotions. And I'm always here to help you look at them as well. But talk to friends, listen to things that are inspiring when you're feeling a certain way. Listen to people who have tools to help you through it. Don't listen to things that make it worse, basically. And if things are making it worse, you just gotta remove yourself from the situation. Okay, so the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is talking, I know that I have seen these cards this week in particular. This is like a repeating message. So the Ace of Swords talks about beginning a new journey, and this is a more mentally focused journey. So perhaps there's going to be a connection between your emotional foundation and your mental body, and perhaps it's going to be kind of a new adventure for you. Maybe you can utilize the things that you're feeling and turn it into something more human, I guess more masculine type of third dimensional reality. Perhaps you're taking something that makes you feel a certain way and you're transforming it into a project that you're then going to take out into the world and make money off of it, or try to change the world, or try to influence in whatever space that is. We can only begin these types of journeys when we're in a good space. So even when we're really pissed off about something, or something's motivating us from a place of anger or pain, there's still a piece of you that's transmuting that into this fiery excitement that's allowing you to create and allowing you to move forward. When you don't transmute it into that energetic fire, it just sits there, and it lets you just sit there, and then you feel like there's so many things that you want to accomplish and you want to do, but you can't move forward because there's a huge emotional block that's just stopping you from moving forward. And what gets rid of those blocks? Meditating, doing a sauna, going to a healer, going for a run, somehow exerting that energy out of you. And also, most importantly, is looking at that stuff. When we look at it, then it can actually release. Most of the time when I'm doing healing sessions with people and I'm teaching them how to do this stuff, it is solely sometimes just about acknowledging the pain, just acknowledging that it's there, and then you're able to just actually breathe it out and let it go. So practice those types of tools. Use your breath, breathe in love and breathe out whatever it is that you don't want. And then allow that to move you forward in whatever way you need to. This is also talking about, when we talk about the mental world, we're talking about things that stimulate the brain. So perhaps you are on a new path. I think for some of you, this will be about clearing old trauma that's living in the head. So it could be, thoughts or patterns of you're not smart enough, or that you're not accomplishing everything that you want. And the head is kind of more where the ego lives. So kind of overcoming that ego, and using that fire to stand up and just say, no, I'm not allowing my ego to drive me anymore. So yeah, the more that because the ego doesn't want to look at the emotions, and I'm sorry I keep on harping on this, but the ego doesn't like us to feel pain, doesn't like us to do things the hard way. So when we do start to look at those emotions, and we come into the heart space, and then the more that we spend time in the heart space, the more that we can learn, and the ego starts to quiet itself a little bit more. So it's easier to actually connect into the heart once you've started to actually ignore the ego. And then it just becomes easier and easier and easier to tell your ego to just F off. Sorry to cut you off there. We had some technical difficulties. Okay, so for the middle of the week, we do have 9 of Wands. And so the 9 of Wands talks about exactly what the picture looks like. Your back is up against the wall, but you're still fighting. So keep the faith. This is what this card means to me, is keep on fighting that battle. Keep on fighting for what you want, and keep on fighting past the darkness, past that super intense, raw energy that's making you feel a certain way. Keep on fighting against it. And when I say that, it's not about resistance. It's about looking at it and facing it, and then getting what you need from it and overcoming it. That's what we mean about fighting. So there may be something that you feel that you are the only one who's fighting it, and maybe you feel like you're totally alone. You are not alone. You have an abundance of help around you that you just can't see. Your angels, your guides, the universe is here to help you. Love is here to help you, and you do have friends who are around you that can help you as well. But know that anytime you need assistance, those tools are there to help you. You just need to keep the faith and keep on fighting to overcome whatever you feel like you're battling, because you can do it. You can totally do it. And then on the weekend, we do have the Magician. And the Magician is a reminder that we can make our own reality. We are the magician in our own life, and we can make magic. And especially when we have cards that are talking about beginning of a journey, we're in brand new territory. We're going into brand new territory. All of us are with this energetic new year. But even on a personal level, when we go into a new place or new way of being, we don't know it very well. So it can be scary. But know that any adversity that you face, you can, if it affects you, you can transmute it and turn it into something better. But also, you do have the power to manifest the tools that you need, to manifest the teachers, to manifest all of the things that you want and that you need, and that is there and available to you. So this is also a ask that you keep your thoughts and your intentions positive, because you are creating your reality. So if you believe that something is never going to change and that you're never going to accomplish anything, or if you're thinking super negatively, or you're thinking this always happens to me, you're just reaffirming that, and the universe will continue to bring you what you're asking for because it loves you. And I know when I first started this whole positive manifestation thing, this positive affirmation thing, I was terrified that I'd be disappointed. But the fear of it not working is not enough to keep you from the potential that you can manifest. So what if it works? What if you being positive? What if you looking at these emotions and using them to teach you and to guide you and to make you a more whole, happier, healthier person? What if it's all worth all of the ugly pain that you have to kind of weed through before you can get to that place? What would it mean if this actually just worked out perfectly for you? So move away from the negative and what you've already experienced, because you're going into this brand new place. The old doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't mean what happened in the past will happen again. It just simply means that there is room for change, and that was their experience then. You take what you need from it, you learn from it, and you move into this brand new way of being, this brand new space. So I really encourage you to live in a more positive and optimistic way of being. You don't have anything to lose. And if people are going to make fun of you for being positive and optimistic, trust me, you will be laughing in the end, because you will be the one with all the money or all of the happiness and all of the love, or you will just be a more content, overall happy person, because it is no fun to be negative. And as humans, that's where we like to live naturally, because that's what's kept us alive for so long, is being skeptical. But I assure you that it feels lovely to be positive every single day. So I hope you have a great week. Again, come and join us on October 28th for the live Facebook reading. And if you do miss it, I will post it on my Facebook page, and I will also send it out in email to anyone who is interested in looking at the weekly reading, even if they can't make the live reading. But I really hope that you join us. Again, come on over to katiehunt.ca to subscribe so that you don't miss it, and come and like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram at The Journey to Spirit. I hope that you have the most enjoyable week ahead, and I hope that you just are transmuting and just being a magician all over the place, because you are fantastic, my dear. Thank you so much for being here. I so do appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.